She didn't realize the moment her life began to change. There was no sudden shift, no dramatic awakening, just a quiet awareness that something felt different. The world around her moved quickly, voices layered over voices, movement without intention, conversations without presence. People filled every moment with noise, distraction, reaction, and yet nothing felt complete. She watched, at first, without understanding why, noticing how people spoke without listening, how they moved without thinking, how they reacted before they understood. Everything felt rushed, everything felt disconnected, and slowly she began to see something most people never notice. The problem wasn't the world, it was how people moved through it. So she made a small change, not to the world, but to herself. She slowed down, not physically at first, but mentally. Before speaking, she paused. Before reacting, she observed. Before moving, she became aware of her movement. It felt unnatural in the beginning, almost uncomfortable, because she had been moving like everyone else, reacting quickly, thinking later, filling silence, and now she was doing the opposite. She allowed silence, and in that silence, something happened. She began to hear clearly, not just words, but intention. She began to see clearly, not just actions, but meaning. The world hadn't changed, but her perception had, and that changed everything. Days passed, then weeks, and the more she practiced stillness, the more control she gained, not over others, but over herself. She noticed something strange. The less she reacted, the more stable she became. The less she rushed, the more precise her actions felt. The less she spoke, the more her words carried weight. This was new, not power in the loud sense, but something deeper, control. And once she felt it, she couldn't ignore it. One evening, she found herself inside a quiet Japanese kitchen, the air warm, filled with the soft aroma of rice and tea, steam rising slowly from a pot resting over a gentle flame, wooden counters clean and worn with time, every tool placed with intention, every surface carrying quiet discipline. She stepped forward softly, her movements calm, deliberate, aware. The sound of water boiling became rhythm. The subtle crackle of fire beneath it became pulse. She reached for a cup, her hand steady, precise, not rushed, not delayed. In that moment, she realized something. This kitchen was not just a place, it was a reflection. Nothing here was chaotic. Nothing here was wasted. Every action had purpose. Every movement had control. The way the tea was poured, slow and measured. The way the steam rose and disappeared. The way silence filled the room without pressure. This was discipline. Not loud, not forced, but lived. She sat for a moment, watching the steam fade into the air, and for the first time she felt completely present. No distraction, no pull, no need to rush, just awareness. And then she saw it again, the shift. The edges of the room softened, the wood grain along the table began to blur, the steam from the tea thickened, stretching unnaturally into the air. She did not panic. She did not move. She observed. Ink began to form along the walls, spreading slowly, bleeding into the space like watercolor on parchment. The kitchen began to dissolve, not violently, but fluidly, as if it had always been paint waiting to be released. The floor beneath her rippled, not like water, but like ink soaking through paper, expanding outward. She remained still, because now she understood. When everything around you begins to change, your reaction defines your direction, and she chose control. The kitchen disappeared completely, the warmth, the steam, the light, all fading into darkness. But it was not empty. It was quiet. For the first time, there was no noise, no distraction, no movement, just space. And within that space, she felt something she had never felt before. Clarity. No thoughts pulling her, no reactions forming, no urgency. Just presence. She stood within the void, calm, stable, unmoved, because she had prepared for this. Every pause, every moment moment of awareness, every act of discipline had led her here. And then the world began to rebuild. Light appeared first, soft and controlled. Then shape, structures forming slowly from nothing, a new space emerging around her. The kitchen returned, but it was different. Cleaner, quieter, more defined. The steam rose slower. The light felt softer. The space felt intentional. She stood, took a step forward, and the ground did not ripple. It held. Because now she was grounded, not by the world, but by herself. She reached for the cup again, her movement even more precise, more aware, more controlled. And in that moment, she understood. The world had not changed. She had. And because of that, everything felt different. She was no longer reacting to the environment. She was aligned within it. She continued moving, not searching, not rushing, not questioning, because she no longer needed direction. She had become it. And that is what most people will never understand. The world does not need to change. You do. And when you do, everything else follows. The kitchen remained still, yet alive in a way the outside world never seemed to be. The gentle sound of water simmering, the quiet rhythm of a blade touching wood, the soft movement of steam rising and disappearing into the air. None of it rushed, none of it wasted. She stood there, not as a visitor anymore, but as someone beginning to understand what this space truly represented. It was not just a place where food was prepared, it was a place where intention was revealed. Every ingredient had a purpose. Every movement carried meaning. Nothing existed without reason. And as she observed, she realized something that extended far beyond the walls around her. The world, in many ways, revolves around food. Not just in the physical sense of survival, but in the deeper sense of connection, discipline, and harmony. Food gathers people. It slows time. It creates moments where presence becomes necessary. Around a table, distractions fade, conversations deepen, awareness returns. And in a world filled with noise, these moments are rare. She stepped closer to the counter, watching as a simple bowl of rice was placed carefully at the center of the workspace. It was not rushed. It was not careless. Even something so basic was handled with respect. That was the difference. Most people consume without awareness. They eat while distracted, thinking about something else, moving through the act without truly experiencing it. But here, in this space, nothing was automatic. Everything was deliberate. She reached forward, her hand hovering slightly above the bowl, feeling the warmth rising from it. The steam curled upward slowly, disappearing into the air without resistance. She followed its movement with her eyes, and for a moment, everything else faded. There was no rush, no pressure, no noise, only the present moment. And in that moment, she understood something deeper. Food is not just sustenance. It is discipline made visible. It is patience made tangible. It is care expressed through action. The process of preparing food requires attention. It demands presence. It does not allow distraction without consequence. If you rush, you ruin it. If you neglect it, it reflects that neglect. If you treat it without respect, the result shows it. It is honest. Just like discipline. Just like life. She began to move, slowly at first, mirroring what she had observed. She picked up a simple tool, her grip steady, her movement controlled. There was no hesitation, but there was no urgency either. She did not try to rush through the action. She allowed it to unfold. The sound of the blade touching the board created a rhythm. Soft, consistent, intentional. With each movement, she felt something shift within her. Not externally, internally. The act itself was changing her. Because she was no longer acting without awareness. She was present in every detail. The texture of the surface beneath her hands. The subtle resistance of the material she worked with. The sound of movement in the space around her. Everything became felt more stable. The air felt more controlled. The movement within the room aligned with her own. This was not imagination. It was alignment. When the mind becomes still, the world appears to slow. Not because time changes, but because perception becomes sharper. Distraction fades, and what remains is detail. She continued, each movement building on the last. No wasted motion, no unnecessary action. Only what was required. This is what most people never experience. They move through life distracted, rushing from one moment to the next, never fully present in any of them. They eat without tasting. They speak without thinking. They act without awareness. And because of that, they never experience harmony. Harmony is not something that appears randomly. It is created through attention, through discipline, through presence. The kitchen was proof of that. Nothing here was chaotic. Nothing here was rushed. Everything existed in balance. Heat was controlled. Timing was precise. Movement was efficient. And the result was not just food. It was order. It was clarity. It was peace. She placed the final piece into position, stepping back slightly, observing what she had created. It was simple, not extravagant, not complex, but it was complete. And that completeness carried something deeper than appearance. It carried intention. She realized then that this process was not limited to food. It was a reflection of how life should be approached. Every action, no matter how small, has the potential to carry intention. Every moment, no matter how ordinary, can be experienced fully or ignored completely. The difference is awareness. When awareness is present, everything changes. Food becomes more than consumption. Work becomes more than obligation. Movement becomes more than motion. Everything becomes deliberate. And in that deliberateness, harmony forms. She sat again, the bowl now in front of her, steam rising gently into the air. This time, she did not rush to begin. She paused, because now she understood. Even this moment mattered. She lifted the bowl slowly, feeling its warmth in her hands, grounding her further into the present. The first taste was not rushed. It was experienced, and it was different. Not because the food itself was different, but because she was. She was aware, and that awareness changed everything. This is why food holds power, not just because it sustains the body, but because it reveals the state of the mind. A distracted mind creates careless action. A rushed mind creates imbalance. A present mind creates harmony. The kitchen does not lie. It reflects exactly what you bring into it. And life is no different. She finished slowly, placing the bowl down with the same level of intention she had used to pick it up. Nothing wasted, nothing rushed. The space around her remained calm, and in that calm, she realized something most people overlook. The world does not need to be controlled. It needs to be aligned with, and alignment begins within. Not through force, not through reaction, but through awareness. She stood once more, her posture stable, her movement controlled. The kitchen remained as it was, quiet, structured, intentional. But she was no longer the same person who had entered it. She had not learned something new. She had remembered something fundamental. That discipline is not about restriction. It is about refinement. That presence is not about effort. It is about awareness. And that harmony is not something found. It is something created through every action, every movement, every moment. And as she stepped forward once again, the world beyond the kitchen no longer felt overwhelming. Because she carried that structure with her. She carried that awareness with her. She carried that control with her. And wherever she went, the world adjusted. Not because it changed, but because she had. And that is where true power exists. Not in controlling the outside, but in mastering is no longer something they seek, it is something they embody. And from that place, life becomes simple, not easy, but clear. And clarity creates harmony.